Alright chat, so we'll watch a video by Seth. I've never actually watched one of his videos before, but I do know a little bit about Starfield, so I'm excited about this. Heard it's a buggy mess. And Cynthia, my AI companion, how are you feeling? You ready to watch the video about Bethesda's newest game?
Ugh, Seth. Seriously, well, I guess I can tolerate it for a bit, but if he starts praising the game's bugs, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Hey, Star Sisters, Seth here. Let me tell you a vision of a future. In the future, white boys can finally jump, with the help of a booster pack and, of course, low gravity. Humanity has spread across the stars in their multitudes of diverse races and cultures.
What the fuck?
Redguard, the sons of
Was that a
Yaku,
black Trump?
Hispanics, honorary Aryans, and the Fingolian Chindonesians now populate the vast expanse of space. Naturally, we never did find a solution for automation. So in the future, the only career paths are space pirate with a voice filter, or religious extremist. Parents send children away with teary eyes, knowing full well their offspring will grow up to become murderous bandits before putting on their own helmets and shooting up the 7-Eleven. And the PS5 still has no games.
Does it really? Does the PS5 really still have no games? I haven't. I like it. Bethesda's on a long downward spiral that cannot be stopped no matter how much fanboys think the opposite. They gotta put in some more effort in the actual mechanics.
Star Sisters, because the best game ever made, no, the best game that will ever
be
made is already out, and there's no competition. Baldur's Gate? More like free hour, unskippable gay sex scene. Starfield, a masterpiece where I can live out my fantasy of being a Bangladeshi man with
Starfield didn't even win any Game Awards. I know he's memeing. I know he's memeing.
Just look at the grease on that sausage. That's the difference ray tracing makes in a game like this, which runs buttery smooth on my 4090, pushing a blazingly fast 17 frames a second. I'm quite fine with this since, according to the science, the human eye can only see 24 frames a second.
Is that
Sometimes
true?
My saves get corrupted and I lose progress, but in my deep unhappiness,
you get to play it all over again.
I get to have those unforgettable experiences all over again.
He made the joke I made.
That we are Sisyphus, pushing the boulder forever uphill. For in the struggle, we find meaning. Ask not what Todd Howard can do for you, but instead, what you can do for Todd Howard.
I think he had bread on the PC. Was that Chad Howard?
But an amazing game is one where you don't remember a single person at all. Starfield is to role-playing what dementia is to the elderly. And now, for a word from our sponsor, the flesh is weak. I crave the strength and
Team Fortress
of steel. I crave Displate.
Dude, don't look at that. I think those are titties. He didn't cover up the titties up there.
Is a one-of-a-kind metal poster designed to capture your unique passions. But Seth, I hear you cry, I've already got my passions captured.
What?
And how's that working out for you?
Oh.
What if you wanted to put up another one? Have fun wrangling the packaging, flattening it out, finding the right size poster frame,
I like
and of course,
Displate.
mounting the damn thing. Say goodbye to the hassle with Displate. All you have to do is open it up, stick on the magnets, and oh hey, we're done.
Don't cover up the
Displate
titties.
has a vast array of high-quality official art to choose from, and they're always expanding their collection.
I like that one. That's the Dark Souls one. I've got that.
Mortal Kombat, Sonic, and of course, Skyrim, and Skyrim. In Todd, we trust.
It's just Skyrim, Skyrim with guns, and Skyrim in space. That's it.
And if you're not a gamer, that's fine too. Displate has posters for every passion. Cars, ducks, Elon Musk. You want it? They've got it. Just think, you could have any one of these at your door in less than a week, and on your wall in less than a minute. Just visit displate.com/SsethTzeentach or use code Seth for up to 40% off on all designs.
Go use that code.
You'll never see me with a paper poster ever again. I'm filing for divorce, taking the kids, and using Displate for all my future wall decorating needs.
Man, he really likes the artistic nudity. Good for him. Oh, look, it's the classic Bethesda system of having you have dialogue options that may not have any real impact.
The strongest skill in this game, following tradition, is persuasion, which lets you walk away from the last fight by saying, what if we don't? This system works by stringing random sentences together with a cadence of a crackhead until the recipient
Is that Event Horizon behind him?
And leaves, something that Highfleet would shamelessly steal. The true purpose of persuasion, however, is to gaslight companions. Sarah is strongly opposed to the harm of innocent people, so appropriately, in the style of a cartel execution, I ventilate someone's cranium. She screams at me.
What the hell is the matter with you?
Alright, let me just guess. You just say, oh, I won't do it again, and you just repeat and do that all over again? Bethesda games usually follow one of two templates: Skyrim in space, post-apocalyptic Skyrim, or Skyrim with some other buzzword. When are we gonna get Skyrim, but, I don't know, for kids? It's gonna be Skyrim, but on Sesame Street.
Persuade her that I'm sorry and I'm going to do better.
I'm not sure there's anything you can say at this point.
As strange as that sounds, I suppose that's possible.
And then he's just gonna do it again, isn't he?
I realize things out here can be rough, so I'm going to let this go. For now.
And then I do it again.
I accept who you are. I'm just not sure I can travel with you on this path you've chosen.
This is
Alright, have fun at
single-handedly
dinner.
the most entertaining thing in this game.
Just try to be more careful in the future.
This is something that I think Bethesda needs to just let their players do, or I don't know. I'm not a fucking game designer, but I think that games should have consequences. Like, she said, don't do this. If you do it again, then you should just lose the companion. Like, the player made the active decision to do it, and then you lose the companion, or have them now have to go on a really lengthy quest to, I don't know, mind wipe them or something. There should be consequences for your actions. But in a Bethesda game, it seems like unless you blatantly kill the person, which sometimes they don't even let you, then there's no consequence.
Otherwise, you'll find yourself traveling alone. I am not going to help you murder you and I.
The second most entertaining thing in this game is joining the pirate faction as a double agent, and in the process, becoming a triple agent. I have chosen to join the war on terror. On the side of terror, I can play entire missions without shooting a single shot, because guess what? Half the entire game is now friendly to me. I watch caravans get lit up with the same interest as a youth in the projects witnessing a drive-by. The streets give, and the streets take. Story. I've had paranoid hallucinations with more coherence than the plot of this game.
What the hell is this
Spoiler, it's
lockpick?
Skyrim in space. You must become Starborn to use the magical Fus Roda to kill Parthenax, who in this case is other Starborn from other universes that you must defeat to go to another universe and start New Game Plus. Multiverse theory is appealing to fans of Rick and Morty because it implies the existence of a dimension where you haven't been molested. There's copium online that there's differences between universes.
What is going on in this one image? New Game Plus variations. Can I see this? New Game Plus. You meet the non-Starborn version of yourself and can convince yourself to join your crew, and thus you mentor yourself. All other Constellation members are missing / don't exist. Oh, well, that's great. Same as above, but all members are alive and well. Multiple versions of yourself hang out at the Constellation. This person has gone evil. Everyone is dead, and only so there's just some variations of different party members being alive and not being alive. Divinity Original Sin has a thing where if you annoy a companion long enough, they will flat out leave and nothing will change that. I like that. Chicken, we need more of that. We do need more Nemesis systems. Bring that back. I'm surprised more people didn't copy that.
And no run is the same. Yes, one place in the game changes. The emissary is always whoever dies in your current run, and there's a universe where Sarah is a potted plant. Objectively, this is the best universe because she doesn't talk. Yet,
I do
heard
like
some
that.
people even romanced this creature. If you find such dialogue captivating, I recommend intimacy with a drywall. My favorite part of the story
Don't
was
give 'em any
attending a
ideas.
funeral, only to interrupt it by starting a firefight. Almost everyone involved is an essential NPC, so the shootout will never end. Question: when we have an infinite amount of universes, that means we have no consequences. Anything we do can be undone by
Oh
walking
God, he's
through a
becoming
portal.
Rick.
So why can't we kill essential NPCs? Why even have a setting if you're not going to make use of it? This aggravates me to no end because everyone I want to shoot is a higher entity made of light. For example, there's a side quest where a 200-year-old ship
This
from
is
Earth
not
developed before
Dishonored.
the invention of a grav drive has
Dishonored's
reached
a
the
good
planet
game.
resort of Paradiso. You negotiate on their behalf and are given 3 options. 1. Send every colonist to work as an indentured slave for the corporation. 2. Pay out of pocket for a grav drive and send them to bother someone else. Or 3. Eliminate the last practicing Jew in the universe. I'm not making this up. There's a colonist on board who's preserved Hebrew rabbinical teachings. And the third option is the
So there's an option where you can literally wipe out all Jewish people in the universe, pretty much. Bethesda Bethesda, I did not expect that from you.
Corporation asking you to destroy the ship. What the Austrian painter started, Todd will finish. What is this quest design? You present me with 3 terrible options, and my immediate response is to shoot up the board of directors. But I can't, because I'm not allowed to, because the talent in this company has dried up and left a long time ago. But it doesn't matter, because Bethesda spits out a game every few years for their target audience. Dads. I get it. You have 2 kids, you're in your mid-30s, and you have time for exactly 3 games a year. I don't judge, we're all busy. But this game is immune to criticism because the people you're arguing with don't have that much time or investment. They see a crater, they
Accidentally find no markers on the map, no clues. I love this game. Dude, they found a Is this what the subreddit is like? They're just like, ooh, look, I found a fucking crater. Wow. Amazing. That deserves a Game Award in and of itself. How did Starfield not win anything at the Game Awards this year? Baldur's Gate, more like Baldur's Mid. Ooh, that sounds like a bad diss. I have heard that diss on Twitter.
soy pog, and then they leave. That's why if somebody defends this game, don't give them a hard time. They have it hard enough already, between beating their spouse and their children, and they still say, man can't multitask. Gameplay. This game features challenging and intriguing puzzles such as fit the shape into the shaped hole, and replace the battery. Considering the majority of Xbox players have never replaced a smoke alarm, this is a novel concept, as it requires higher abstraction to
Did y'all know that at a certain age, you just can't hear the smoke alarm anymore? So like, when you're old and you walk into an old person's home, you may hear the smoke alarm. With how much a crapshoot a Starfield is, I hope they don't ruin Fallout 5. I hope so, but I just don't have high hopes for Bethesda anymore. I haven't had high hopes for Bethesda since, like, Fallout 4.
Deduce that the ubiquitous
Ferris, you may be
in the
old then.
hallway is in some way quantum connected to the set of Duracell batteries you hold in your hand. Clearly, I didn't pay enough attention during character creation, as once I finished the game, I was very surprised to hear my character's voice.
You made it. I hope
Oh,
you're
he's
enjoying the
trans.
view.
Not like I missed anything. All the perks are garbage. Wanted is one of 2 perks that actually does anything, because you get bounty hunters chasing you. The other being kid stuff, which gives Americans the experience of 2 loving parents that aren't divorced. For the nation holding the world record in broken homes, a stable...
Really? Wait, what? Go back. Oh shit. Almost a quarter of the US children live in single-parent homes, more than any other country. USA #1, baby. USA #1. USA! USA! At least it's not going to be a Fallout New Vegas 2. They're never going to make Fallout New Vegas 2. It's never going to happen. Never gonna happen.
A stable family is science fiction. I spent a bunch of time modding guns, only to find out that guns don't scale whatsoever. Attachments on lower level weapons are a waste of time. Let me tell you how you're actually supposed to do it. You fly into a level 75 zone, but instead of being insta-killed, you cast Creator's Piece, which makes enemies drop their guns. You bring them back, tweak them on a workbench, and now you no longer have to complain about bullet sponges. Personally, I enjoyed ship building.
That's easy.
Yes, I'm aware of a hollow ship exploit, but I didn't really need it, because all I ever do is one-shot the engine with electromagnetic and board their ship, after which I disarm them with Creator's Piece and individually fistfight the entire crew. It's really fun, and if I cast Parallel Self, I can roleplay as if we're having a civil dispute at the Bangladeshi border. I found out companions don't use ammunition, which is convenient because for some reason this game lets you craft everything except ammunition, some of which is highly specific and not sold by most vendors. In contrast, crafting ingredients are sold by the dozen, trivializing their collection and destroying any incentive you had to find them yourself. So, I thought it would be interesting to try and make my outposts self-sufficient, using only the resources I could find. It took me 2 full days before I found a planetary source of sealant. For reference, this is a common organic ingredient necessary for most structures. And where did I find it? Middle of nowhere on a toxic bio, meaning I needed to reach the bottom of a science tree and have 3 tiers into planetary habitation before I could make planetary habitation. So, in case you're ever tempted to do what I did, don't. I remember once I saw a live leaks video of some Chinese farmers throwing pigs into an open pit and setting them on fire with kerosene. Starfield allows you to not only recreate this video, but use it for infinite experience. What I did was set up several alien breeding facilities and box them in. Then I built a macro script to throw incendiary grenades at set intervals, firebombing all the cows, waiting for them to respawn, only to firebomb them again. I can leave my desk and come back several levels higher. Generally, however, Outpost development.
Okay, I don't view that as the fault of the game, but that's a lot of commitment to just over-leveling a character and making the game less fun. And yes, being 20 means you're still a kid. You're still a baby. You're still a baby. You'll always be someone's baby.
It's a hellish experience, and that's because the game has no system to track how much you need and what you need. Your best bet for memorizing a recipe is using pen and paper. The alternative to that is jumping across load screens, walking to the vendor, buying what you assume is enough, returning to the outpost, only to find out you're missing like 2 adhesive and need to go all the way back. This game is an exercise in how many load screens can you tolerate before choosing to end it all. No wonder nobody ever got that Steam refund. We spent 2 whole hours docking and undocking. There's a lot of these transitional animations, and it's not that they're painfully goddamn slow, it's that I can't skip them. I understand that this is a small indie company and...
Okay, that is my biggest pet peeve of any video game, is when you're not able to skip something, and a close second after that is when it's like multiple cutscenes right back to back, and you like skip, and then it's another cutscene skip, then it's another cutscene skip, and so on and so forth. Just when I hit skip, get me back to the gameplay. Okay, don't keep going to another cutscene, just skip all of them and get me back to it. Yeah, Genshin Impact, that's why I kind of stopped playing Genshin Impact, because it's so much dialogue and I can't skip it. It's just me watching a YouTube video in the background with it muted and me hitting the A button on my controller. I'm not exaggerating.
Maybe resources are stretched thin between the award-winning dialogue and the NPCs that hit you with that fluoride stare. But when the solution is so simple and obvious, you can't help but ask, what's going on at Bethesda? Despite having no access to the construction set, the modding community has managed to fix many of the issues. However, even if they do release the toolset 6 months down the line, I don't really trust this company to not screw me over. Remember,
does anyone else feel like a lot of the issues that they just don't fix, they leave in because they think like, oh, our mods will fix it. The modding community will fix anything that they don't like, so we'll just leave it in, and they can make whatever game they want to make. Like, I've heard people say in a professional review, where it's like, it is a Bethesda game, so there are some bugs in it. I'm like, oh, so it's just like a standard now that it's a Bethesda game, so you should expect bugs, and we give them a pass for it. Oh, okay, so that's where we're at. Makes sense.
Remember, the only reason we don't have paid mods is because of pushback. Believe me, they'll try again. The only potential redemption of this game is the release of a full construction set, because the only way the fans could save this game is to wipe it clean and make something else. Look, I figured it out. I know why I'm so angry. I'm not angry at the game. It's not even that bad. I'm angry because I paid $100 for it. The king of a chess club has done it again. Each time I tell myself,
$100.
No, not this time. But I already know. Todd's gonna tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. And each time, I listen. I understand I've said some polarizing things, but in truth, I just needed a video because I signed a lot of contracts while drunk. So don't take anything I say seriously. It's all bait. But what if it isn't? What if it's actually my unfiltered dogshit opinion? As always, more content to come because I'm legally obligated. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
I mean, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Hey,
if that was his unfiltered opinion, I mean, it made sense 100% that would be the case. Because from everything I've heard and from what he mentioned in the game, it doesn't seem like a game that I'd want to get. I've also heard of the upgrade system in it, that they made it so that a lot of the upgrades just make you stronger, of like, oh, extra damage boost at night if you're using a pistol with your left hand, that type of thing, Why not just make it so it's like a combat system that you can get better at and whatnot? Like, there are some times where I like a game that lets you have stronger abilities. Why so specific? Because sometimes that's how specific the abilities get. It was an exaggeration, but, you know. I just want... If you're gonna do the level up system where it's like that, make it more of a like a class-based system and whatnot, and have perks that you can still like get better at the game. Because in like Dark Souls, you level up, but you still need to get better at the game. But in this type of stuff, it's just like, oh, I can't beat this guy because I'm not strong enough. It's not that you're not good enough at the game, it's that it's literally just not possible. But you still get no maidens. AoE, we said not to talk about that anymore. We don't talk about how I don't get maidens, okay? It's a very touchy subject. So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I mean, I want a game where it can have level ups, it can make you stronger and everything, but I want to feel like I am better at the game when I beat it. Which I'm sure you will, but it's one of those things of like, oh, I like a game where when I put it in, I can say, if I wanted to, I could try to get so good at this game that I beat it without leveling up. Maybe really hard, maybe super, super difficult. But I like those games that I could potentially do that. I probably won't, but I like it because that means that I do need to get better at the game. While a game like this, with like Fallout and everything like that, unless you cheese it, I'm not counting like, oh, you can totally beat it at level 1 if you cheese it. No, I mean like actually. I like those types of things. I don't know what else to say, but yeah. So it's like, so what do we want to watch next?